Hey, what's going on guys? Panasaur here. Welcome to your extensive guide on how to build a weaver. Now keep in mind all this information in this video. You should have a main by now. The market is down, so you can't get gear, so you do need a level 120-ish main, maybe 115 if like I'm being lenient. But you do need a main to farm certain items in this video. Now once you hit 64, the first thing you want to do, you want to go to Crystal Cave. So make sure you're collected all the way up until this point because you will die at 64. Keep in mind these mobs are going to one tap you. Once you make it to this NPC, just talk to him and he's going to reset all your skills. You're going to become a weaver and you're also going to pick up this item here, which is one of the best items in the game. Weaver Gauntlets. It has 3 card slots, so you can potentially put 3 Elder Lightning cards onto this to have 18% win damage. Okay, one of the most requested things is this Weaver skill tree. I know it can be a little overwhelming and intimidating because of the amount of spells that's on here, but we're going to go through it together one by one. First thing you want to do is +5 to dual wield mastery. Max this out so you get 100% damage. You can equip both weapons, which is very useful in this build. Second thing we need to do is to increase our damage, so some magic attack increases to 10. Okay, next thing we need to do for more damage output is we need to max out our Thunderbolt because we do run Drooping Cat. It casts a level 2 Thunderbolt per proc per autocast, and if we actually max out this Thunderbolt to 5, it actually will autocast a level 5 Thunderbolt and replace the level 2 one with the level 5 one. Alright, next thing we're going to +5 our haste, +5 our shadow step, and +5 our cloaking next. This is basically you get out jail free card every time you're in a bad spot. You want to cloak. Cloaking is actually detectable by shadow element monsters unless you have a certain card to prevent that from happening. Shadow step, basically your repositioning skills. You can teleport to a mob to attack them and group more mobs together, or you can just get out a bad position, reposition, and stuff like that. Haste is basically attack speed buff. It's a movement speed buff. It gives you more agility, so that's very necessary, and also it gives you slow immunity for 2 seconds. Next thing you want to do is you want to pick up some sustain and also some buffs. So I would suggest getting this Fortified +5, gives you 4% HP per level, also 2 vit per level, which is pretty useful. You can also max a heal to get a bit of sustain. We're not going to pick up Resonance Well yet because it is an AoE heal and it also heals allies, but we're not going to pick up that yet. We're going to pick up the main boss first. So you want +5 Benediction, +5 Divine Grace, and then we're going to +5 Inner Focus and Lightning Reflex. And after you max out these ones, you want to get +5 Inner Draw. These are basically your 5 buffs. After you pop haste, you want to pop all these 5 buffs before you get into battle, before you get into combat. Some extra stuff that you need: Resonance Well. It would help you just get extra heals. It can also heal your teammates. You also want to pick up this Mark Target, which lowers the defense of your enemies, so you can do more damage. Also, you want to pick up Natural Resistance, which gives you 3% to all resistance, which is pretty helpful in sustaining your character. And the final thing you need, which is not that necessary, but it's also some kind of mobility, is Stomp, because it does grant you like an ability to jump forward a little bit, so it's kind of like a half shadow step, and also the ability to stun enemies, so it could get you into a better position, get you out of like a mess. Naturally, when you're farming, you're going to drop a lot of these boxes of origins, and if you open it up and you get 4 different pieces of the scout artifacts, head south of Navarus to the Scoutmaster and pick up the Eagle Eye, Grimoire, and the Chain Reaction Grimoire. You're going to use the Chain Reaction Grimoire more. Basically, what it does is applies volatile for 5 seconds on hit. So every hit is going to add a volatile. Once you have 5 stacks, it auto casts volatile explosions at 5 stacks. And that basically just amplifies your damage in your DPS. Next, you want to head over here to the Mage Master, click on him, and you want to pick up this Grimoire Spell Shot. Basically, every time you attack, M attack is applied to all your auto attacks, 100% cap, as long as you're wearing a staff. So we are wearing a staff in this build, and it's what makes this build very high DPS per second, because your basic attacks now have magic attacks applied on every hit. And lastly, we're going to pick up Elementalist, which is also a mage book. That gives 5% wind damage per level. Alright, so I tried out these other books. They're not as good later on. Ruthless is applied when you cloak and also when you kill something, so it gives you 10% attack speed and extra +1 to chain. I think these other books might be better. Eagle Eye just increases the mark target area. Mark target is this skill right here. Basically, it marks the target, lowers their defenses, so you can hit more, increasing your DPS. And these other ones, Radiant Strikes. I'm not sure if this actually applies, because it does say it requires a mace, and we don't really use a mace. And Venom Bloom is something we use as a rogue to level up to 64, so we don't use that anymore. Okay, the first item you need in this build is this Stormcall Kunai, and you can pick this up from Sunken Depths, and it's advised that you do have already a main that's like 110 plus to farm this gear with, because some of these zones are 100 plus, and in order to start this build, in order to start this character, you're not going to be farming with your level 64 Weaver ungeared and trying to farm these zones for these items, because that would just take way too long. And the market being down, you can't buy these items either. I think the market's going to be down for the next week or so, until the next week. So you do have to have a main available to continue with this build and this video. That's just a disclaimer that I wanted to give. Now, the first thing, to get to Sunken Depths, you need to teleport to Lakefield, and you need to talk to this NPC with the ship behind him, the ship captain, and you want to travel by boat to Lakefarers. Once at Lakefarers, you can collect the waypoint to the to the south. Otherwise, you can talk to the ship captain here and get to Storm Reef Isle. Once at Storm Reef Isle, all you have to do is head south and head to that portal there, and then you end up in Sunken Depths. So once you get 300 coral, head deeper into the labyrinth in Sunken Depths, and you'll come across this NPC right located here on the map, and just talk to him, and you can craft the Stormcall Kunai for 300 coral. It doesn't have to have crazy stats, just 3 agility, magic attack or magic damage should be fine. Multi-strike doesn't actually proc the auto cast, so your extra hits that you do doesn't actually proc the auto chain lightning. So I already tested this on the dummy. It didn't give me, like, removing my multi-strike totem mask didn't actually give me any extra procs on chain lightning or thunderbolts. If anything, I actually did more chain lightning procs without it on. So after I tested that, I realized, the mechanic of multi-strike is not how it's intended to work, in my opinion, unless they fix it in the future. But yeah, so multi-strike isn't really necessary on this kind of build, so just keep that in mind. That's why I did also remove my 2 added cards from my Kunai as well. So you basically just want wind damage, and I'll tell you how to get these cards later on. So also here, you're going to come across these Violent Cuttlefish, which also drops the speed shoes, which gives +5 agi. Basically on the shoes, you're really looking for attack speed limit +1, maybe movement speed and +3 agi. If you want to risk it and be a bit risky, you could try to chaos these shoes once it has attack speed limit on it to potentially get an extra attack speed limit. So that's a way you can get extra attack speed limit without using the Vespa card, which is probably going to cost millions once the market does come back up. Alright, so the next item you need is this Drooping Cat. Basically what it does is it has a chance to auto cast Thunderbolt with a 3% chance per refine. So a +7 hat or higher is decent. So +7 would be 21%, +8 would be 24, and +9 would be 27. So it's definitely necessary in this Thunder build, and the best place to get this to drop this hat from is Forest Labyrinth. It's way better than forest field, and it's way better than the windy desert because there's other mobs in the area, where this is strictly just, you know, spark kits here. And so basically this whole area is just full of them, so you have a better probability of like finding or dropping the hat here. Alright, so the next item you need this lightning wisp card. It gives 6% wind damage. You need 3 of them, so it might take you some time to farm this. Luckily the mobs that drop this are one shot. You need 1 on your main hand and 2 on your offhand, or vice versa. The way you get this is also in the forest labyrinth. You want to look for the purple lightning wisp, and the smaller mobs have a 0.5% chance to drop it, while the bigger mobs have the 1.5% chance to drop it. So it's a decent probability. You'll be here for a while since you have to farm 3 of them. So that's the next piece you need. Alright, the next item you need is the star. If you don't have it already, just head over to Windy Desert. It's pretty easy to drop. They drop from these lightning glimmers, which is kind of like lightning wisp. You can also pick up this lightning glimmer card for later, which is going to be on our chest piece. 1% wind damage per refine as well. Also in Windy Desert, you're going to come across these wind mages. Basically, they have a 0.1% chance to drop a Thunderbolt Gem, which gives 2% damage per refine. Plus 9 will be 18% damage, which helps with our Drooping Cat autocast proc for Thunderbolt as well. The next item you need is Azure Prism, which you can get from Crystal Cave. Just teleport there. You should be okay enough to like kill some of the mobs here because you're using elemental advantage, like wind damage over water. Otherwise you can party up with people here. There's always people around here doing mobs here. And if you collect enough of these Azurites, you can actually go to the craftsman's by the portal and craft the Azure Prism for 200 Azurites as well. So that will give you the necessary materials you need, as well as the chance to drop it here. Alright, the next thing we're going to get is this Nosferatu card. If you don't have it already, if you didn't farm on your main, basically this is your sustain. It gives a flat plus 10 HP per attack with all the attack speed that we have and the attack speed limit that we have. This is very crucial to the build in order to stay alive, attacking and then sustaining yourself. And the way you get this is you want to first teleport to Forgotten Depths 1. You want to head south of the waypoint into this portal right here, and you want to look for the Nosferatus in the back. So basically these bad things here, and these will drop the Nosferatu cards. You can also equip the Lightning Glimmer card to your Ashwalker's chest. In the meantime, if you don't have a second one, you might have to remove that one once you hit 100 to put on your speed plate. Since we're still here at Forgotten Depths, we want to pick up our artifacts. We want to get the full Blitzcore set. I haven't plus 7 onto this artifact yet, but these other ones I've plus 7s. You don't really need to go crazy on this like plus 8, plus 9, because we might replace this in the future. What you're looking for is we do need plus 3 agile on everything if you can, and then plus 2% magic attack if you can as well. And these are just my Blitzcore artifacts. So you do want to put in your Thunderbolt Gem that you farmed earlier. Hopefully it's plus 9, otherwise you can settle for plus 7. So in this build you do want to hit 193 A speed, which is the maximum cap of A speed that you can get. Attack speed can only get you to 185, then every 30 points of agility will get you 1 extra after that, and then attack speed limit from the shoes or sets or the boss Vesper card can get you extra plus 1. You can also try to chaos essence some shoes to get attack speed limit plus an extra 1 on the shoes, but that's the only ways you can kind of like break the limit of like 185 to 193. And most of the time you like most sets will get you 191, 192, but 193 is the maximum. Alright, the last thing we need to do before we hit level 100 is we need to pick up these Elder Lightning cards. We need 3 of them. We need to farm for 3 of them. Each card gives 6% wind damage per card. So having 3 card slots on your Weaver Gauntlets, you're going to have 18% damage on one item, which is absolutely insane, as well as plus 3 to all stats. And where to get that is we want to head to Underground Cavern, and they're going to drop by these blue mobs over here. It's called Elder Lightning. It has a 0.5% chance to drop. The giant elder lining has a 0.1.5% chance to drop. If you're still around level 70, maybe you've leveled up a bit, level 80, try to get to at least level 80 and 90 to try solo this place. Otherwise you would have to party up with people. Alright, the next thing you want to do is once you hit to 90 to 100 on your Weaver, you want to head to Dark Forest. You can use this as a leveling area as well. You want to get these void threads. Basically HP you need, MP you need, everything but a flat attack you need in your build. So it's just really good legwear to have, and you can drop in this area. Otherwise you can collect the materials and eventually just go to the craftsman and craft the void threads. And you can also use this area to level up to 100, so you can equip your speed set that you're going to pick up later on with your main account. Next thing we need to get is this Tempest staff, which adds 15% base damage to chain lightning, 2% per refine, so at +9 will be 18%, plus the 15 will be 33%. Just extra damage for chain lightning. You can also equip the lightning wisp cards that you've farmed before, 2 of them onto this weapon slot to give 12% extra wind damage. The area where you get the Tempest staff is the Goblin War Camp. You want to farm it here. If you don't actually drop it here with the party on your main, you kind of want to collect these tungstens. So if you don't actually end up dropping the Tempest stuff through these mobs, you can just collect these tungstens on the ground and then eventually cast the Tempest stuff over here by the craftsman. So once you hit 100 on your Weaver, you can go back on your main, head to the forge, and this is where you can drop the speed plate. You're looking for 3 agile and HP percent mainly. That's all you really need. You can also remove the lightning glimmer card if you don't have a spare on your Ashwalker's plate in order to put it on the speed plate. The reason why speed plate is really good is it gives +1 energy per refine, which helps you hit the attack speed limit. Also +1% HP per refine. So +9 will be 9 to both, and also try to look for substats with +3 energy and 10% HP. After that, we want to hop back onto our main. We want to teleport to Turtle Nexus, and we want to kill these purple storm turtles, which have a chance to drop the chain lightning chains +2 for our weapon. You do want to group up in a party in order to get this drop, because it's just absolutely impossible to solo this area. In my opinion, my wizard wasn't able to like sustain itself and solo this area. I mean, it could potentially spam blizzard and it would just take too long to drop the card. So you just need a party of 12. You maybe head into the SEA server channel 1, try to get a party going. The last thing you can do is pick up this chain lightning gem. You want to head to Night Garden, make sure you're on your main, make sure you have a party of 12 maybe, which will really help you out. Basically this area is really tough. The Cindermores drop it, the Void Gazers drop it as well, but it's very tough to actually drop this gem, and this area is pretty tough too. There's like curses that you need to watch out for in case you heal and lose more HP. This is just a bunch of AoE. These monsters are really big too. The area above is where people normally farm, and this area is just really cramped. So the boss, if it spawns there, you could potentially like wipe you and just like be in your like mob space that you don't really want them to be at. And afterwards, if you really want to min max everything, you can go back to Sunken Depths, and if you kill these Aqua Merlings, they have a chance to drop a Aqua Merling card, which gives +10 to M attack. So yeah, so I have my hotbar set up like this. We're gonna go through it. I have my buffs on ZXC and my other buffs on the other side of the keyboard, but I normally just click these ones, and then I'm ready for combat. So you can blink, you can jump forward, stomp, you can heal with the mouse button 3, or pop this resonance heal, and then you can, you know, blink or cloak to get away, and then you have R for mark target. And basically this is my DPS for a 10-second duration as well. Yeah, so 103 DPS for 10 seconds. So that's basically it for the video, guys. It's basically how I play Weaver. Mark targets, start grouping up monsters with position, You can use like stomp to jump. You can heal using resonance as well, and just basically mark target and just chain everything, keep things up, heal, blink, away, cloak. Just a really good playstyle for Weaver, and you can just clear mobs pretty easily, stomp out of position. Yeah, just overall pretty insane damage to AoE damage. So if this guide helped you, like the video, subscribe, and tune in to more of my content, and I'll try to upload more next time. And if you guys have any requests, just post in the comment below. I did make a Shinobi, but because the comments were asking for Weaver, I leveled up a whole different rogue just to make the Weaver for you guys. So hopefully that was worth it for you guys. I did this for you, so please like the video, please subscribe, and tune in next time.